Great. Okay, well, let's get started. Topics I'm going to cover today are the digital marketplace and setting the scene about the traveller's cycles, and also how to be found more often and more easily by your customers in Google search, which you'll hear me say several times how important that is, how to get benefit from social media for your accommodation business. And often we do speak to small businesses who say, oh, I'm doing social media, I'm getting these likes, what does it mean? I'm not seeing much growth. So I really want to get a little bit strategic with you on that today, and how to make the most of your Facebook business page. One thing to keep in mind is that this is a high level, kind of summary level presentation. It's impossible to do a too deep a dive into any of these topics in a short period of time. But what I'd like to do is convey the most important elements, or some of the most important elements of having a good digital marketing approach for your business. Now, I am just going to move this off the screen, my face, so that we're not recording that as well the whole time through. Okay, great, let's get started. So Tourism Tribe, first of all, a little bit more about that. That is a great support platform that Wendy, Fabian Wintle and myself have developed for the tourism industry, particularly for small businesses and not-for-profit tourism organisations, so that you can have help and support at any time around these topics. And we have an arrangement in place for HAA members, which is a 25% discount. So I'll tell you a bit more about that at the end. So you can know that there is a place where you can go to get more help when you need it. But topic one, the digital marketplace. I want to just share with you what I think are the most important strategic trends that drive this rapid change in technology that we're all dealing with, and also how travellers make their purchase decisions. Overwhelmingly, one of the three main dynamics that are causing the changes that we're seeing is mobile technology. And I'm sure you all have a smartphone and that you are doing business on that smartphone. And also spend a lot of time on there. 85% of Australians have a smartphone, and 85% of people generally travel with the smartphone. And that means that they have access, as you'd be aware, to information, word-of-mouth advice, maps, sales opportunities, constantly when they're moving about. 66% of smartphone owners will search the web every day on their mobile device. 57% of them will access a social media account. So they're engaged and mobile because of this technology that is changing rapidly. The other main driver of change is social media, and I'm sure each of you have some level of presence on social media, even if it's not so much for yourself personally. For your business, you'd be understanding that a great number of your customers are using social media. The platforms I've got on screen here with Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, they are the most common platforms that are relevant to tourism. But certainly the one that is the standout is Facebook, which is common to nearly every business and business type. It's just a way of life now, using social media for business. And in Australia alone, whilst the total population is 1.6 billion active users on Facebook, in Australia alone, there are 15 million users who access that once a month, Facebook at least once a month, 11 million daily, and 10 million on their mobile phones. So we can't ignore the importance of it for a range of reasons, be that marketing, customer engagement, advocacy of your business. It's just their advertising. It's just way of life now. And did you know that over 65-year-olds, which could be an important sector of your market, or it could be a target market for your business, are joining. It's the fastest growing age group taking up social media. The third dynamic that's really driven change has been Google. Now, the Google search platform, I'm sure you've used it yourself. I don't know how many times a day I either type something into Google, or if I'm on my phone, I'll hold it up and use the Google app and speak to it. Like, the voice technology is amazing now. But changes to the way Google presents information and its algorithms, it just has changed constantly. And you'll see the little pictures here of Panda, Penguin. They've been names that they've given to major software or algorithm changes that they have made. But really the thing you need to know is that Google has shifted over the last 5 years to be highly sensitive to location of the user. That's been driven largely by mobile technology. Catering to those users' needs, so making it vitally important that websites are mobile friendly. And then also relevance of content, because we have this overwhelming amount of information available to us through Google. Google is doing its best to help its customers by sorting information and making it as relevant as possible to the user and their user search. There's a phrase that Google has coined now for marketers, which is micro moments, this new model for marketing. And what they're suggesting here is that because of mobile technology, changes in search, changes in the way people are, and the growth in social media, is that we now need to think about consumers absorbing information and searching in tiny bite-sized pieces in moments that are available to them, be they at a bus stop or multitasking, drinking a cup of coffee at work, or turn around in between doing an email. We all do it. We all get diverted and go and look for something using our phones often. So the challenge for us then marketing our small businesses, and we have a small business as well with Digital Coaching International and Tourism Tribe, is that we really need to understand what our customers' online purchase journey is, so that thinking about the fact that they can access information at any time that suits them, and there's a whole myriad of options available to them and different devices they will use. We need to really understand what works for them at the different stages of the travel purchase cycle. And you may be familiar with this kind of diagram on screen here, with dream, plan, book, experience, and advocate as well. Now, these 5 stages are what will help us construct a meaningful digital marketing strategy if we think about, well, what does our customer use at those different stages? And I've just used an example of my partner and myself here and what we use. And we're probably slap bang in your target market in terms of the types of people you are marketing to. We do an awful lot of searching for holiday options. We start with Google, and most holiday searches do start with Google. We certainly verify our considerations of where we might stay via TripAdvisor. We also are inspired by others and what they post on Facebook about different destinations. And bear in mind that nearly always a travel search will start with the destination, and then the consumer will go down the path of thinking about the options for where they can stay, or tours, restaurants, that kind of what facilities are in the area. And then Instagram is another one as well that inspires us in terms of what our friends and family, or even just searching on Instagram for different destinations or particular interests that we have. Now, why is this more complicated thinking around marketing important to us? Well, obviously we want to drive that target customer through to the book stage. So we want to get them interested in us when they're in that dream stage, when they're in that planning stage, looking at products and prices and availability. And then we want them to hit the book button with us. And then what's become very important has been to move them through to becoming an advocate for your business. Because of social media and review platforms becoming such an important piece of that travel purchase decision making, we want to make them a member of your marketing team. And obviously you can have a massive size marketing team with the number of people who are on social media and review platforms like TripAdvisor, Facebook reviews, Google reviews. So let's move on to topic 2, how to be found more often and more easily by your customers in the world's biggest search engine. Now, we can't ignore how important Google is in our marketing, and that's why I focus so much on it with businesses. Businesses will say, oh, I think I need to review my website, or do I need this functionality? Well, yeah, you probably do need all that revamping, but unless people can actually find your business in Google, you're wasting your time. So this is just as important, is thinking about what is my strategy to be found in Google. So I'm going to go through some of the basics of that with you today. What we're going to cover off is basics of how Google works, find out how mobile friendly your business is, Google My Business and its role in search, looking at your business through the eyes of your customer, Google Plus, quick conversation on do you need yet another social platform to think about and look after, and a little bit about how you can find out more information to explain what search engine optimization is and why it's important. So if you have a website, that's fantastic. That means you have a global business. Everyone from around the world can see it. You're open 24/7 on that online shop front. Congratulations. You know, there are some really small businesses that don't have a website, that they go, oh, I might just have a Facebook business page instead. I don't think we can afford to do that in the tourism business world. We need to have a place where we can list all of our products and services in a good amount of detail, have a well-organised portfolio of images and videos about our products, be able to book online and have good booking functionality, and to be able to collect customer data and own that data. The thing with platforms like Facebook, we don't own any of that data. Facebook owns it. So you really want to have a mechanism to own that customer data. So if you've got a website, that's great. Your website could be invisible if it's not working well and optimized for search and it's not mobile friendly. Now, one of the exercises I would love everyone to do, if you haven't already done this, is to just jot this down, test, or you can just do a search in Google, mobile friendly test, and this link will come up, testmysite.thinkwithgoogle.com. And as I said, you'll have a copy of this presentation anyway. And you can do a quick mobile friendly test there, because even if you think your website is mobile friendly because it looks okay on your mobile phone, it's how Google sees it that's important, because one of those later algorithm changes that I spoke about before that they did was to penalise websites that they do not see as mobile friendly. So that means they're not going to make it to page 1. So you need to make sure your website is mobile friendly. It's very important. Now, let's move on. We can follow a lot of how Google works, because Google is very good at giving its customers what it needs. So if you give your customers what they need in terms of information and functionality, then Google will be able to surface your business, and because they'll do a search on their terms and your business should match that search. Now you might be thinking, well, what are these things today that Google thinks is really important? And this is my diagram to try to simplify the main things that make Google find your business. Now, at the centre, you'll see customer-focused content. Now, that is critically important today. You hear a lot about content marketing in today's world of marketing. We're not going to go into that today, but just know that when you're thinking about your digital marketing strategy, content is a #1 thing, and it needs to match your customers' needs. The other thing is your own website. That needs to be well-performing in Google's eyes, mobile-friendly, great content, and search engine optimized. Google tools, which I'm going to touch on shortly, need to be set up and managed. Partnerships with businesses, other websites that can distribute your product, can link to your website. Links from relevant, high-quality websites to you. It could be regional tourism sites linking to you. Could be Australia.com because you've got a listing with the Australian Tourism Data Warehouse, that kind of thing. And then social. Having a good social footprint will also help, because Google looks for what it calls social signals about how other people are talking about your business. That's just a bit of a roundup of that. Be assured that no one knows all the details of how Google algorithms work. Not even people who work in Google know that. So what we can do is look at what businesses are doing, do our research, and that's our job to do that on Tourism Tribe, and keep you informed of what is going to be helpful to help you get a good return from your investment in Google. An investment these days, not necessarily dollars, it's your time spent on these things. So what you need to do as a first thing, and I think this is a really important exercise, and I ask all businesses to do this, is to put yourself in your customer's shoes. How do your customers search for you? What sort of things would they type in without knowing the name of your business to find a product like yours? Now, because of where I'm located at the moment in northern New South Wales, I'm in beautiful, very sunny Yamba at the moment, I thought I'd do a search for B&Bs near Grafton, because I figured that's, you know, a little bit country, not far away. Let's see what I get. And doing this on my laptop. So my search as a member of their target market is B&B near Grafton. And you'll see I've got an example here. First of all, I get up the ads. But my brain, I have this thing where I don't actually look at the ads first. I tend to swerve away from them, and other people agree with that they do that too. Yet obviously, you know, other people it really works for. But you'll see here, because I put in Grafton, this makes it like a location search. Google says, oh, there's a particular location this user is looking for. So it gives me a local search result, which is this map, and then these listings underneath it. And you can see that 3 have come up. At the top is At the Rosary B&B. There's another one in the middle, Anderbean House, and then Annie's Bed and Breakfast in Grafton. So I thought I'd have a look at the first one, because obviously Google is saying to me, well, you know, that's your best option. So have a look at that. It takes me to their Google My Business listing is what I'm looking at here. So this data that I'm seeing here is coming from Google's platform called Google My Business, and also coming from Google Maps, and Google has brought it together. And At the Rosary B&B has a reasonable listing. There's an ad there. I hadn't seen that before. Okay, there's an ad. That's probably why it's on top, because Google will push its paid advertisers to you. It's also got 3 Google reviews. Good on them. That's great. And that's going to help as well. But I'm interested in Annie's Bed and Breakfast, because it says, and I noticed it on the previous screen as well, it says that it's got free Wi-Fi. And did you know that that has become on TripAdvisor the most important criteria for their audience? And you know how big the TripAdvisor audience is when they're looking for accommodation, is free Wi-Fi. So that's something for you definitely to make sure that you're describing on your website, wherever you've got a listing, whether it's Google My Business, whether it's TripAdvisor itself, making sure you explain what availability you have for Wi-Fi for your guests. Okay, so let's have a look at when I clicked on Annie's Bed and Breakfast. Okay, so they have got a verified Google My Business listing, and that's indicated by this star here. And also they have listed their hotel details, which is better than that previous listing I looked at. So that's an opportunity for At the Rosary B&B, would be to go in and update their Google My Business listing. They may not have even claimed it yet, but that's an important thing for you to do, is to go to, just type in Google My Business, go to that website, or you can do it from Google Maps. You type in your business name, find it, and it will say claim this listing, or go through that process. And we've got tutorials on Tourism Tribe that step you through that. So it's a really important exercise to do, to claim and set up your business on Google My Business. It replaced other facilities that Google had. And you need to do that if you want to be able to manage Google reviews. So you'll be getting reviews on Google. You may not have noticed that, but they will be there. And if you want to be able to respond to them, which is absolutely best practice, and will encourage more people to do reviews for you on Google, then you need to do that. So that's fine, I did that on my laptop, but with 66% of smartphone users searching the web daily on their phones, the other exercise to be able to map out your customer journey online and how they search is to do the search on your phone as well. And do it on different devices and borrow a friend's phone and do it, because Google remembers what you've searched for before and will throw up ads to you. So you don't get a clean search then. So, use other people's devices to be able to do these searches in different ways. You might want to search different search terms. So doing B&B near Grafton, Annie's Bed and Breakfast, Grafton comes up first. That's interesting, slightly different result than before. And this is Google for you. When you think you're starting to understand it, things change a little bit on different devices. And there'd be a reason for that in their algorithm, just impossible for us to know exactly what that is. Okay, so then I get this lovely Google My Business listing. That's Wi-Fi, that's mobile friendly, so that's great. The disappointing thing though for Annie's Bed and Breakfast at Grafton is when you go to their website, it just does not work on mobile. I mean, it looks okay on desktop, but on mobile it just doesn't work. And when I did the mobile friendly test for them, it certainly showed that it is not mobile friendly. So you can see how that chain has been broken. When I did that consumer search there, all going well, they came up first. I get a nice Google My Business listing that's mobile friendly. Click on their website, and pretty disappointing experience. It's very hard to navigate on phone. So that's where you want to make sure you've got no breakages in that customer journey online. So other homework for you to do is to search like your target customer on various devices. Now, Google Plus, do you need it? Look, our viewers and listening to people, members of Tourism Tribe who've spoken in the member forums about Google Plus, is that one, certainly set it up, go in there, because when you set up your Google My Business listing, then it gets tied to your Google Plus listing. So then after you've set up Google My Business, you can then check your Google Plus listing and make sure you've got all the right images on there. Once again, there's tutorials to step you through that in Tourism Tribe. But have you got time to post to Google Plus? It's a bit of a challenge because we're all time poor. But what our members have said, they found that they've started to, maybe they've seen a difference in their Google page rankings when they come up on the page, when they've started to share blogs that they've written and posted to their website, sharing them on Google Plus, and any news about their business. So give it some love. It is a small size online community compared to Facebook and others, but it is Google. So obviously Google is going to treat it with some importance. Now, search optimization on your website, what is it? I'm not going to go into this in detail, but everything I've spoken about so far has been about getting search to work for you by doing things outside of your website. Search optimization on your website is where you are going in to each page of your website, making sure it has a page title, making sure it has keywords, making sure you've tagged images, and that you've got fantastic content as a key driver for your website. We could do a whole training session on this, and I've just listed there for you though that if you do become a member of Tourism Tribe, there is a optimising your website tutorial that you can access, which is really good and will help to give you an understanding, some baseline understanding of this, and then you can work out where to take it from here. So topic 3. How to get benefit from social media for your accommodation business. We do not want our industry, which is predominantly small businesses, to be wasting their time on social media and not getting a sense of return on that invested time. So that's why I'd like to speak with you today about the role of social media in business today, how to determine the relevance of social media to your business, and why prioritization of channels is important, and give you some guidance on the sorts of steps you can take to work out which channels you will focus on. Because I want to say to you that none of us have the time in small business to focus on every social media channel. We want you to find the one that works best for your target market and that you're comfortable using, and you can really put some love to that and see the results of that working for you. Might be 1 or 2 channels, let's say. Okay, so what I'd like to start with is just some statistics from the most recent Census social media report. So Census, that's a big company that owns white pages and poor old dying yellow pages. So 69% of internet users have a social media account. These are all Australian statistics. 50% use social media daily. 25% check social media more than 5 times per day. Gosh, I don't know how many I do, but more than that. 49% of checking social media is the first thing they do each day. I'm not quite that bad. I don't know what you're like. And 72% are most likely to use a smartphone for social media. So once again, we can see that convergence and how, you know, that number's come up since last year even. So how do consumers interact with business on social media? And this is also from the Census report. Interestingly, you know, people do find this surprising, that only 14% use social media to research product and services. And I think that's a really important thing for us to think about. And 12, interestingly though, on the positive, is that 12% use it to research holiday and travel offers. So it's a very high level if of that 14%. So social media is certainly strongly tied to holidays and travel products. But let's think about that. 14% use social media to research product and services. So what do they mostly use social media for? Well, for different platforms, it's for different things, isn't it? We can't bundle them all together. So Facebook, when I think about how people use Facebook, a lot of it is just informing your friends and staying up to date with your friends and family on what's going on in their life. And, you know, a lot of the time you'll see your friends posting photos and having a great time, you know, in their leisure life and, you know, what they're doing on holidays. So we've got to respect the platform and what it's used for. But it doesn't mean it's not a great marketing tool for us, because 1 in 3 will follow a brand or a business. And that brand, you know, could be a destination, it could be a celebrity, whatever's got a brand associated with it, or a business. So, you know, that means that they know that it's a way to follow things that they're interested in. 41%, and this is a number, these numbers are reducing a bit because over the previous years we've seen these higher, that people follow brands and businesses because they think that they might get a discount, giveaways, coupons. But we're seeing this sliding down. I think consumers are realising that that isn't always the case. Also, 30% expect exclusive offers. And I think it's something I'm really interested in here, that 24% expect tips and advice. And I think that's a really important thing for us to think about as businesses, is how we can help consumers with that information. So what this says to me, that the role of social media for travel, it supports using social media for marketing and customer engagement. It's not necessarily the first place you're going to put all your effort into for sales, but certainly for building a following of your business and for engaging with your customers on their terms, giving them interesting content that they want to see. That's its strength for travel. What this report doesn't expose, however, and I think this is another really important point, is the power of advocacy for travel through social media, because we know that people who are on holidays love to share and brag. You see that it's very, very strong on social media platforms for the China market, which of course are different to the ones that Westerners use. But, you know, sharing is so important to them. So providing you with access to a very large marketing team who can spread good photos and videos and great information about your business. Reviews are a critical component of social media, and you know, there's certainly review information in that census report, but I just want to highlight that it's tied into social as well, because that's all about sharing your thoughts about a product. So reviews are a very critical component of social media. And it's at that review stage, when people are reading a review, that is more tied to that sales piece. All right, without overcomplicating it, let's just come back here and think about, so how does social media relate to your customer's online journey? So let's look at this diagram again. And there's another filter that we can put over this diagram to help us understand the role of social media. And that is if we think about the dream and plan phase as that's when you're trying to attract people to your business, is in that dream and plan phase. In the plan phase, we want to engage them. So we want them to start talking to us, searching for our prices and availability, start asking us questions. And then there's the convert, which is the booking phase. And then in experience and advocate, what we want to do there in our outward strategy is to delight them so that they will become a great advocate for us. So I think it's at this dream and towards plan stage, so mostly at the dream stage and at the advocate stage, is where social media plays the most important role with our customers, or our target customers. And certainly as an engagement tool once they already know you. So whether it's asking questions about your business before they book, or even when they've booked, you can start to engage with them, or they may want to engage with you. So you can't do every social media channel. You don't have time to do that. So what are the things that you can do to prioritise social media channels? The very first thing is to have a clear understanding of your target market. And I'll give you a little bit more information on that in one sec. That entails developing personas for each of your target markets. Who are your target markets? What are they? How do you label them? Do you label them older couples? Are they romantic weekends? Are they foodies? Are they people travelling with pets? You've probably got several key target markets. You need to identify what channels they use. What are their preferred social media and review channels? That's very important research for you to undertake. You probably already have a sense of that. It doesn't hurt to ask them. Identify what channels your competitors use. That's easy. You can look online to do that. And then be very clear about what content you want to produce. You may be somebody who really thinks they could get quite good at doing short videos and great at taking good images, or do you have a preference one over the other? Do you like writing? Do you like writing little blog articles? Find your thing and focus on that content that you do really well, and then you might have to get a bit of help with the other things. So target market. If you have ever applied for a tourism award, be that a regional or state tourism award, you would have had to have defined your target market. Target markets are a specific group of consumers at which a company aims its products and services. Your target markets are those who are most likely to buy from you. And today's consumers are more savvy than ever before and don't like to be lumped all together. So, you really need to understand your target market and start with that as the driving sort of platform piece to then develop up your digital marketing plan. From your target market, you can develop personas. Now, this is what I mentioned before. Could be older couples, could be foodies, could be traveling with pets. And then you give them a name, and you really write down, you brainstorm with your business partner or your little team, and you brainstorm, what do they like, what are they interested in, what do they don't like, how do we remove their barriers or concerns in booking with us, what information and what channels do we need to provide to really be able to connect with them. And once again, we have a very good tutorial to help you to do that on Tourism Tribe, which is called Smart Marketing Spend. And I think I've got a slide that captures that shortly. So let's have a look at what Annie's B&B is doing, just to give you some real life examples of how, whilst Annie, who I don't know, but I must find out who she is and connect with her. I have started following her Instagram feed and liked her Facebook page. Annie clearly has a love for food and focuses a lot on food in her B&B. And I can see this from her Instagram feed here, just some shots here. And she's obviously got a great eye for taking photos as well. So, you know, that's very much her thing. And when I look at this particular image here of the parfaits and click on that on Instagram, she's done really, you know, she really does know what she's doing here with her Instagram posts. She's got a great image, good on her. She's got 94 likes, which for a small business, that's good. She actually has a reasonable following on Instagram as well. It's slightly larger than her Facebook following, the size of it, and it's growing. And she's also got a really nice style about, you know, she knows her personality and how she posts. She knows how to be fun and light and to really talk to her target market. And she also knows how to tag. You see all these hashtags down here. And that's a great thing about Instagram, is on just a native or organic basis without paying for advertising, it does open you up as a business to a much broader audience, because tags are so heavily used. It's a main way of people searching on Instagram is tags, so hashtags. So in this example, it's not just about her business. She has hashtagged dessert, delish, summer food, figs, raspberries, passion fruit. So people who are enthusiasts about figs and raspberries, if they do a search on Instagram, there's a chance that that huge audience will find her post, which is just another way of brand marketing and getting more exposure to your business and growing your audience. Now, if we look at a post on Facebook, interestingly, I don't think she's quite got it as right on Facebook. But for me, when I look at her Facebook page, there's a lot of her in it as opposed to the business, and that's okay. That's her style and what she does. But as a Facebook business page, my view is that you need to have a very consistent kind of style associated with your brand and always speak in that kind of way. But here you can see the food theme coming through, a post about the next gourmet traveller magazine. You know, she's really talking to her audience. What do I know? That's her audience. But interestingly, she doesn't have quite as large a following on Facebook. So I do think she's probably got things nailed a bit more in Instagram than Facebook. Now, some key points, and this is where I've got this link for you here as well, is on social media, before we move to the last topic, is social media is just a way of life now, and the majority of businesses are using it for marketing. It's important for brand marketing and engagement. You need, when I say engagement too, I'm also talking about customer service. So some of you would already be experiencing getting messages from people via your Facebook page and messages, and that's an increasing trend in terms of people using Messenger to connect with businesses and to get their questions answered. So it's very important to keep an eye on that. Make sure you've got your message ability turned on your Facebook business page, and also your notifications turned on your phone so that you get a ping when that comes through. You need a keen understanding of your target markets to be able to develop meaningful social media strategies. That's where it starts, and developing personas helps you and your team to easily identify the needs of your different target market groups and to know what social media channels they are on and where you should focus. And the Smart Marketing Spend tutorial is a simple guide on how to develop personas step by step, which you may find helpful. So topic 4, our final topic, is how to make the most of your Facebook business page. And we thought it would be good to cover this, as most businesses will have a Facebook business page. Now, what we'll just cover off is getting the foundations right and some tips on getting good results without paying Facebook. how to create engaging posts, and how measuring is very important to assist you. So, taken straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, there are four main, and this is from, and I say that because I was able to meet Claire Deeby, who's the head of business for Facebook in Australasia. And when she talks to businesses, she talks about these four things: about the setup of your page, how you post, the importance of measuring, and also when promoting is that next step that you will take. So I want to use a couple of examples here again, and I'd suggest that you have a look at this business on Facebook, Witches Falls Cottages. Now, Witches Falls is a business that we have worked with. One of our founding directors of Tourism Tribe, Fabian, has done a lot of work with them. And they have worked their social media presence for several years now. On Facebook, they have about 10,000 fans, which is fantastic, and they're very active on Facebook and very active on Instagram. And I think because they're a hosted accommodation business, and I think there's somebody that you can relate to. So we think that these guys do a lot of things right. They're very good at taking advice as well and implementing it, which is half the battle in business, isn't it, to be able to do that. So when we talk about setting up their page and getting that right, the sorts of things I'm talking about here, really basic thing, is they have, with their page, they have verified their page. See, they've got a tick there. So they've verified that page with Facebook, and you do that in your settings on Facebook for business. So Facebook knows this is the authentic and real business page for this business, because sometimes other pages have been created by Facebook consumers about your business, and then people don't know which is the real one. So you go and you go through that verification process with Facebook, not unlike setting up your, claiming your Google My Business listing or claiming your TripAdvisor listing. The other thing that is really important is have a really good cover photo image here that really shows what experiences you can offer. This tiled look here, that's what they've chosen to do. A lot of businesses will just have one brand image that really captures the essence of your most remarkable experience that visitors have with you. In my personal opinion, I find this cover image a bit busy. And the thing to remember is you can change your cover image, you can change it with the seasons, change it with special campaigns you're running. But the thing to keep consistent is your profile image, and this is the smaller one. This should really, in my opinion, be your logo, and have that, there's some brand recognition here. So when they go to your website or when they go to your Instagram feed for your business, that they're seeing that same profile image, and so they see that authentic professional image being carried through. Now, the other thing that these guys do well is when you click on that cover image, the big one there, and a lot of businesses miss doing this, is they put the description in for the image. And it's a spiel. They've got information about their business there. So great image, click on it, and there's some information with a link back to the website. So that's just an important small step that you can go and do now. If you're the admin of your page, you can go in and edit the description of your cover image and get a link in there to your website. So have a look at what they've done as an indicator of that. The other thing in setting up your page is having fantastic about information. So you've gone into all of the business details, hours of operation, written great search-friendly description, added your story, put a milestone in for your business. Using all this real estate in your Facebook setup page helps Facebook, and even in a lot of cases Google, particularly if you're in a very small town and you don't have a lot of competition. Google will also search Facebook if it's got nothing else to find. But certainly helps Facebook to find you. And there is talk in the media about Facebook going to build a new search facility, like almost like a competitor to Google. So that's why this information will be really important if they do that, so that you can be found. So once again, have a look at Witches Falls and how they've done that. I think it's a good best practice example. The other thing they've got is they've got apps installed on their Facebook page. So they've got a YouTube tab so that you can get to their videos that they've created and stored on YouTube. So it's all just helpful. Consumers love video. Video talks to consumers much more than still images, and it's the fastest growing media on Facebook. It's growing year on year over 90%. Gift certificates they've got there, you can buy them. TripAdvisor reviews, absolutely essential to get your TripAdvisor. And obviously on that first page you saw their Book Now button, linking through to their website Book Now page. Reviews. Encourage reviews on Facebook. Our research is showing us that reviews on Facebook and Google are growing at a faster rate. Their growth rate is faster than TripAdvisor reviews presently, because they're catching up. They've got a long way to go to get to the size of TripAdvisor, but more and more people are going to Facebook to do a review of a business onto their page and also onto Google. So encourage those reviews and respond to those reviews and manage them just as well as you would manage your TripAdvisor reviews, which should be responding to every review. Once again, another session, we could do a full training session on review management and get experts in to help you with that. Now, a key thing in posting, and it's a good thing to start with in terms of the time we have available today, is to think about a balance in your posts. Now, a good rule of thumb is only talk 30% about your business. Be educational. 30% educational, what can you be informing your target market about? If you are a real foodie yourself, you might be sharing recipes that you're doing, or talking about, great foods that are in season locally, or, you will have your thing that you like. It could be wildlife in your area, but be educational. 30% be entertaining and inspirational. What amazing images can you share that will inspire people, or quotes? You know your target market, you know what turns them on. Only 10% on sales. 10% on special offers, coupons, campaigns, that kind of thing. Make sure it's all really relevant to your target customer. Now, the other thing is to be really consistent, and I don't have a slide on this, but being really consistent in your approach. That means in terms of your frequency with posting. Certainly, we'd love to see you posting once a day. And you can do a schedule for that. You can pre-schedule posts so you don't have to be on there every day. No more than 3 times a day, and you're probably all laughing at me, 3 times a day. How could I have time to do that? And certainly no less than once per week. And keep your personality and tone, whatever your whatever your tone is to your target market. If it's friendly and casual, on theme with your brand, keep that consistent. Now, just by way of a couple of examples, again, using Witches Falls again, they ran this. It wasn't a sponsored ad. It was just, trying to generate some sales from here. Didn't get much cut through. I can't remember. It's only about 9 likes or something. Yet, when they posted this inspirational quote, it really talks to their target market, which is all about romance. They got likes of 139 and 38 shares and 4 comments. So that's pretty good going for organic work on Facebook. The shares is the part that's really valuable there, because on average people have 240 friends on Facebook. So if you can get people to share your post, that's a great outcome. So I think this is a really good example of providing content that really talks to your target market. Now, if you want an objective view of your Facebook page, it's a tool I've just stumbled across just before Christmas that I think provides an external view. It's free to use, and you can also look at what your competitors are doing. And that's this thing called Like Eliza. Likayzer. And what you can do is type in your Facebook page address, and it will give you, it will scan your page, and there's a lot more, you know, beneath the bottom of the slide that shows you what score you get out of 100 and gives you some recommendations. So have a look at that. It's a great place to start, I think. And then you can also do the same thing with your competitors. So we can see that Witches Falls Cottage got a score of 70 and Annie's Bed and Breakfast get a score of 41. So it's just an interesting kind of benchmarking tool, and you can look at the recommendations that it provides. It's never going to be fully conclusive or comprehensive or detailed enough, but it's a good tool, I think, to have a look at. You might be interested to know that Tourism Australia's Facebook page, which is the largest destination page in the world on Facebook, it doesn't even score 100%. It gets 90-something. So nobody gets 100%. It's impossible to get a perfect score with these things, but we're all trying. Now, insights for Facebook. Absolutely get your head around this. This is for measuring. This is going to inform you about what's working in your Facebook posts and what your audience looks like, and help you to decide what to do more of. So after you have 30 likes on your Facebook page, as an admin of that page, you'll get an insights menu will come up at the top of the screen. So start to explore that. Look at the page summary. Look at how it's trending in terms of page views and likes. Is your reach trending up or down? Get familiar with this and to see what is working for you. I love the statistics on the posts. If you click on the post item in the menu, where you can see which posts of yours have done the best. So what reach they've gotten, and reach is just that term for the collection of everything, likes, shares, exactly how far, how many views, how far it actually got. Also, it will show you what the engagement was, and you can click to get deeper into that to see how many people liked it and shared it and commented on it. So that's a great scan for you to get a feel for, is it things you're posting that are humorous, for example, that are getting the best cut through? Is it when they've got a video associated with it? It nearly always is. You post a video, you normally get more activity than a still image. And did I say that never post without a video or still image? But I think we're all past that now. I think we all know that now. And people, I love the people tab as well, because it gives me a profile of audience by country, by city, language, gender. So you start to get a real feel. And it's understanding this audience that then sets you up for what you could do in terms of trying to grow that audience. You know, if it's mostly women that you are targeting because they are the decision makers, which is normally the case on booking accommodation, and what age group are you looking for? It'll give you see the age groups up the top there. This is very important to get a feel for that, and then be able to say, well, what do I need to do more of? You know, and back before on those page, the posts and what's worked. It's also looking at what was the time of day that worked. And Wendy, who runs our help desk customer service, who's our co-panelist on this, she does all of our Facebook posting, and she knows that there's certain times a day that small businesses like you, who are our target market, and certain days of the week that work best. So that's a very important thing for you to look at and understand. So if we've got an understanding of our audience, then comes the opportunity to look at, well, you know, should we be doing some paid Facebook advertising? You know, a couple of years ago, organic posting was getting something like comparatively a 16% reach, you know, cut through to audience. It's now between 4 and 7, because Facebook have pushed us down this advertising path. It is an advertising machine now. You would have seen that yourself. So definitely worth having a look at. If you haven't run any Facebook ads yet, the way that you can do that is to go up to the little down arrow next to the padlock symbol at the top of your Facebook page, and click on create advert, and it will step you through signing up with your credit card. Don't be too scared about that though, because setting up a campaign on Facebook, you can limit your spend to as little as $5 and just experiment with it. And the great thing is, I've got this screen here, I'm not going into this in detail, that's once again could be, you know, a whole other training session, and probably with somebody more experienced in Facebook advertising than I am, is that you can really structure a campaign to very much target what you're trying to do. Is it about growing brand awareness? Do you want to get more local awareness? Do you want reach? You know, is it about conversion? Is it about selling? So it steps you through that really well, and you can really limit your budget as well. So I'd like to move on to finalising the webinar presentation now, and let you all go back to doing what you do during the day. I'd like you to think about, what are you going to do? Is there anything new you've learned here, and has it stimulated you to think, well, I'm going to go and do this? If you could write that 1, 2 or 3 things down, then that would be fantastic to know that you've taken something from this that you can go and help to improve your online presence and get further down the path of having a good digital plan. Don't forget that Liz from HAA is going to send you a survey, because she wants to know whether this type of learning medium is helpful to you and would you like more of it. We'll be sharing the video recording link, and for any questions you may have, more knowledge, support, expert advice, we are here to help you at Tourism Tribe, and we have a fantastic discount available to HAA members. So you can either access our starter membership, which is normally $129. You can access that for $99, or you can chat with Wendy on the online chat and look at the other options, and we can provide you a discount for the other options, which include more hands-on training opportunities. But that starter membership is going to get you a whole lot anyway, because you're going to get into all of the member tutorials that cross a whole range of topics, and we are going to keep you well and truly up to date. You'll get an email with a digest from us every week, which is just little snippets of things to keep you up to date with what's new. And the great thing is that you can come in and ask questions on our member forum at any time, and you wouldn't believe the quality of responses that come back from our experts and even other operators who are members of Tourism Tribe sharing their knowledge, and we find that that's the most active part of the Tourism Tribe online community. So the other thing, of course, you can do is email help@tourismtribe.com. So that is it from me today. I'm just going to leave this slide up here for you, which has got my email address and my phone number. So if you would ever like to contact me directly, you can do that as well. And I'm sure that I've probably met a couple of you in the past, so I would love to hear from you. So I'm just going to check if anyone has fired off any particular questions in the chat. Oh no, Wendy has done a little chat to everyone, and you might see that's come up, thanking everybody. There's a Q&A, and I'll just going to quickly answer this. There's one question asked by Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for asking the question. Just wondering what your thoughts are on using Hootsuite to control social media posts. I think Hootsuite is a great product if you are managing several social media platforms or managing several brands or businesses. If you are posting solely on Facebook, you don't really need it. Even Facebook and Instagram, you can probably get away without it, and you can manage without it. But if you've got a more complex environment, then it's really helpful. We have a Hootsuite account, and there are others as well, like Buffer, for example, and several products that are helpful there. I think one of the first things, though, is to make sure you have a plan and you know that you're going to pay. You look at, you set up your calendar and go, what's happening in the business or the area in these months, on these dates? What content should I create to go with that, to follow that theme? and to stimulate the growth I want in my business and have that schedule set up, then create the content on a monthly basis and have it ready to go. And Paul, just wondering what your thoughts are on using booking channels, given the vast number of them. I think it depends on the size of your business, Paul, and where you're located. It's a personal decision, but I'd be surprised if there are too many accommodation businesses that can completely go it alone and just rely only on direct business. So my thoughts are a balanced distribution strategy is right for nearly all businesses, and choosing the channel that is most aligned with your target market. Have a look at what else they're selling for your destination and work out what your pricing should be to be able to make sure that it is cost effective for you to distribute through there. So I hope that answers your question. All right, I'll close it out there. And thank everybody for attending. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and probably get myself back up here. There we go. I think we managed to fumble through all right on the new platform. Once again, thanks everybody for coming, and I look forward to being in touch with you again and fielding any questions you may have in the future. Thanks very much. I'll just close it out now.